And so when you have people in your life that challenge you, know that those are the people that love you the most. But there's two sides of love. Love is an exchange. If people are challenging you to become your fullest potential, which is, I think, the true definition of love, the exchange is you have to be open to that journey. You have to be open to that tough love so that you do change. You got to want it so bad that you accept the harshness of the reality of what these people that love you are trying to help you do. You must understand and realize that this person loves you so much that they're willing to pour into you like that. Pour all that energy and frustration and guidance and that coaching and that effort and the sweat and the tears and all that with you. You have to be open to accept that, because all they want in that love is for you to be the best you can possibly be, to live to your potential. Self-love is not, man, I weigh 350 pounds and you look beautiful in the mirror. That's not self-love. That's just encouraging poor health, to be honest with you. Self-love would be looking at yourself in the mirror. Damn, you weigh 350 pounds. Man, you need to get more healthy. Let's go do something. Right? Look at the great Goggins, David Goggins. You read his book, Can't Hurt Me, whatever. It wasn't until he calls it the accountability mirror, I think. It wasn't until he started talking to himself and giving himself that tough love is when his life transformed. Bam. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the End-to-End Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Yun Win. And as my friends affectionately call me, Ninja or Prolific Ninja on my socials, because my fans and my friends, you can call me Ninja too. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the alpha to the omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, drive, success, self-improvement, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Back in the studio today, and boy, do I have a very, very good topic for you, given that it is Valentine's week, and that topic is about love. All right, but before we get into love, we got to go through a few formalities. For if you're new to the show or if you've listened for a while, I do the show on my own dime, on my own time. There's a production crew, spent a lot of money, spent a lot of time creating content to get this out to you all. So with that in mind, the only way we grow this show is if you share the show. This is on a value exchange, and if you find value in this show or any other episode that you've listened to, we're on episode, I want to say in their 90s, 93, I think this one is. Please do share the show. Our audience has been growing our across all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can find us. Please do share the show, like, comment, subscribe. And in that regard, I also want to express gratitude to you for sharing the show. For those of you all who have been supporting over now, we're this close to the last 2 years. Thank you so much. I always start my podcast episodes as I start my day, which is when I wake up, I express gratitude to the God, the universe, for another day to have an opportunity to inspire and be great. And so with that, I want to start the episode also with an expression of gratitude to all the supporters out there who've been helping us grow our audience and getting this word out. Our mission is to inspire billions of lives across this planet and help people live to their fullest controllable potential. And in that regard, we can only do that with your help. So please do share the show if you find value in the show. So we're just past Valentine's, so this is coming out Thursday. I think Valentine's would have been Wednesday. But we're still going to talk about love. Got the red shirt on. It's all about love. And so love is, a perplexing and complex, in many ways, emotional deal. Some people say, you can't define it, you just know it, or you feel it, or whatever the case is, okay? In my context, though, when we're talking about in a context of self-improvement and bettering yourself and living to your fullest controllable potential, okay? In that context, which can be applied to love and relationships, the best love is tough love. I want to repeat that. The best love is tough love. And I will give you a stark example of what I mean by that. My job as a parent to 2 kids, I have a 16-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter. My job is to help them become the best that they can possibly be. okay? To have them be self-reliant, good thinking, good critical judgment, be able to carry themselves as strong adults to be the best that they can be. Do you think that can happen if I raise them up, coddling them, or giving comfort to them all the time? Would they learn the skills or evolve in the mindset of being self-reliant, being the best that they can be, if I were there to always be a crutch to them? No, you see, I shower them with tough love. They know that I care for them. They know that I will do anything for them, right? They know that. It's an implicit. However, I give them tough love. I make them do hard things, right? And so for you all, when you're around your group, whoever you're with in your circle, who is the one that's giving you tough love? Because if there's no one giving you that tough love, there's no one that really actually loves you and wants to see you be the best you can be. Tough love to me is the only love. And this is exemplified in sports, in business, in all so many different ways. Everybody who's achieved a high competitive level of achievement in sports always has that one coach. You can ask anybody. They always have the one coach that they hate, but they love so much, that they're so grateful for after the fact. Because that one coach pushed them so hard in order to live to their fullest potential. You see, the love is the identification of who you are and what you're capable of becoming. And the person that loves you the most is going to help you in that journey or make that bridge or transition. When I coached basketball, I would tell my players straight up, I'm gonna ask you to do things where you are gonna hate me. You actually want to punch me and fight me because I'm gonna push you so hard. But you got to know I'm doing it out of a place of love because I see potential in every single one of you. You see, in Valentine's, you're getting showered with gifts, chocolates, comfort. Comfort, my friends, is not love. When it comes to living a fulfilled life. Yeah, everybody, for example, everybody has this image of mine. When I retire, I'm going to sit along the beach and just waste my days away. Is that really living? Getting drunk, sun-drenched on the beach every single day of the rest of your life in retirement? No, we don't. We like the idea of comfort, but comfort is not the goal. Comfort is not love. Love is helping you become the greatest potential you can be. So that's why this podcast is authentic. It comes from a place of love for me, for random people that are listening, right? Because I'm being authentic about my love for the human race, that I'm sharing this freely to you all and challenging you to become the best that you can be, to live to your fullest controllable potential. That's the whole point. And so when you have people in your life that challenge you, those are the people, know that those are the people that love you the most. Okay? But there's two sides of love. Love is an exchange. Okay? Love is an exchange. Because if people are challenging you to become your fullest potential, which is, I think, the true definition of love, the exchange is you have to be open to that journey. You have to be open to that tough love so that you do change. You got to want it so bad that you accept the harshness of the reality of what these people that love you are trying to help you do. It goes back to the sports analogy. If there's a coach screaming it, forcing you to do things, just I don't want to say forcing. That's hard. That's a harsh word. But getting up in you, getting in your grill, making you better, wanting you to become better, and you're not open to it, what happens over time? That love gets exhausted if it's just one way. And that love can wane and wax and stop. Man, I love him so much, but he just won't listen. So, why waste my time? There's a duration to that if you're not open to that change. Right? So the two-way street, the reciprocity is that you must understand and realize that this person loves you so much that they're willing to pour into you like that. Pour all that energy and frustration and guidance and that coaching and that effort and the sweat and the tears and all that with you. You have to be open to accept that. Because all they want in that love is for you to be the best you can possibly be, to live to your potential. And that's what we're about. We can't leave anything on the table. I mean, look at, if you're into basketball, look at Michael Jordan. Look at all the greats, Tom Brady, all these guys. You think on the sidelines, they're ferocious competitors screaming at their teammates. No, they're trying to get as much out of their teammates as possible. Screaming in their faces so that they can what? Help them become champions with them. It comes at a cost, but that cost is greatness. Right? And so that tough love is the love that you need to be open to accept. If you have somebody in your life that is giving you the tough love, consider yourself blessed. Because that is very, very rare. Because loving someone with that much grit, that much passion to get up in their face when they're not living to their potential, that's a lot of emotional investment. Trust me on this one, I know, with my players, especially my son. When I'm on the sidelines, I'm watching games. I'm one of those parents, I scream a lot because I'm just so passionate. But it's not because he's making mistakes or doing the wrong things. It's just when he's not playing to his potential, that's where it's at. I got to help drive him to that potential. I'm not upset if he makes a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. But when you're not giving that energy, you're not pushing yourself, somebody's got to be there that loves you so much to help you realize that and get you to where you want to go. So it brings me back to, it's a sad week as I'm recording this. Carl Weathers, who's one of my acting heroes growing up, Rocky, Predator, all these movies, Happy Gilmore. I mean, what a great actor. Don't know what he was like as a person, but when I grew up watching him in the movies, it was like watching a big brother. Those movies were so great back in the 80s, and so his character related to me a whole lot. But rest his soul, God rest his soul. He passed away this week, so it kind of hit me back because I'm like, man, that was a good dude, at least in the movies. But in terms of Rocky, there's a scene that kept playing in his passing, where this is Rocky 3. If you don't know the movies, you should really watch them. Some of the greatest movies ever. But Rocky's the champ. Mr. T is now challenging him, and now Apollo Creed is trying to coach him. I think it's Rocky 3. And they're sparring, and Rocky's not giving forth his effort. He's just lackadaisical mind somewhere else, getting soft. And Carl Weathers gets so pissed, he's just screaming at him. And he's like, there is no tomorrow, Rock. There is no tomorrow. It's just today. There is no tomorrow. That's the tough love. The person that recognizes that you're slacking off. You're slacking off, gets in your face, and tries to snap you back into reality. That is the love we're talking about. Now, if you do have people like that around you, you're blessed. If you're open up to receive that love, even double blessed. Now, what happens if you don't have those people around you? Well, where else can you find tough love? With yourself. Self-love. Right? You have to love yourself enough to give yourself that tough love. Right? Now, some people would say it's unhealthy if you're in your mind, negative speak to yourself, oh man, you should have done this. Oh man, you could have done this better. Oh man, you suck. Oh man, you failed. Oh man. Yes, that is negative. That is negative self-talk, and I would suggest you avoid that. However, that dark energy can be turned into a positive. And the positive aspect is, just as I said before, if you have an external coach giving you that tough love, you have to be open enough to change. If you have that negative self-talk, in order to turn that dark energy positive, you have to be open to change for yourself. If not, it is negative energy and it is unhealthy. Think about it like this. You want to lose weight, but you didn't go work out. Oh man, you're a lazy ass. Why didn't you get off the couch? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you go around the block? Yeah, you're just lazy and you're a failure. And then you don't do anything. And so the next day you miss your workout again. Oh man, I told you. This is self-talk. You're talking to yourself. Oh man, I told you you're a failure. You're lazy. You can't do anything right. And then the next day you don't do anything again. That is a vicious negative cycle. I completely agree with that. However, let's rewind this. That first day you missed your workout. Oh man, you're lazy, you're a failure. You couldn't even get off the couch. You don't want to lose weight. You're saying all these things to yourself. But then the next day you actually go work out. Right? Your self-talk is going to completely change. Man, I knew you could do it. Good job. Let's do it again tomorrow. You see how that script flips? So there's such thing as self-love, which is giving yourself tough love. Self-love is not, man, I weigh 350 pounds and you look beautiful in the mirror. That's not self-love. That's just encouraging poor health, to be honest with you. Self-love would be looking at yourself in the mirror. Damn, you weigh 350 pounds. Man, you need to get more healthy. Let's go do something. Right? Look at the great Goggins, David Goggins. You read his book, Can't Hurt Me, whatever. It wasn't until he calls it the accountability mirror, I think. It wasn't until he started talking to himself and giving himself that tough love is when his life transformed. Anybody who's made a massive transformation in life, they had an external tough love coach, or alternatively, they had tough love. They gave themselves tough love to themselves, but they were open to accept that change. They were open to that harsh criticism. They were open to all the ways they've talked themselves into doing the hard things. And my friends, that is the best love. The best love there is. Because why? The amazing results, the amazing feeling of fulfillment, satisfaction, accomplishment, of transforming yourself to what you're supposed to be with the gifts and talents God gave you, or whatever potential you got stored in your DNA. When you realize those things, there's no better feeling of love. Because why? That's God's love. God gave you those gifts. God gave you that potential, or the universe, or whatever you believe in, whatever your spiritual higher being is, gave you your gifts and gave you your talents, gave you your potential. And when you realize those things, now you're in my view, you're in God's love. You're in God's blessing. You fulfilled what you were supposed to do on this journey of life. And so that's why I say, my friends, tough love is the best love. Whether you have it from somebody else or whether you give it to yourself, that is the best love, because it is pushing you to become what God intended you to become, what God gave you the gifts to become, what God gave you the potential to become. When you're being pushed along that journey, that is the best love to ever get. Okay? So this is coming to you a day after Valentine's. Now that you've had all your chocolates, get your ass back in the gym and start working out. But just understand, tough love is the best love. So the rest of this year, I hope and pray that you find somebody that loves you so much that they will get in your face and call you out when you're not doing the right thing. They will get up in your face and call you out when you're slacking. They will get up in your face and call you out when they see that you're in the wrong path. Because, my friends, that is the best love. And cherish that person. Cherish yourself if you're able to give yourself that tough love. Because it's a necessary requirement to live a fulfilled life, to live to what God intended you to be. Tough love, my friends, is the best love. So with that, I want to wrap this episode. As I wrap my day, before I put my head down, I thank God, the universe, for another day to have been on this earth, to be able to make an impact to the people around me and to those that I have a chance to influence and inspire along with this podcast. So I want to thank you all for listening. If you find value in the show, if you found anything worthwhile, if you found the idea of tough love, please do share the show. If you're knowledgeable, share the show. That is how we grow. And with that, I want you to be great today, but be even more grateful. You can always find us on all socials at N2N podcast. Any DMs, private message, or email, ask at the N2N podcast. Happy to bring these topics onto the show. And look forward to bringing you another episode very, very soon. What's up,